Okay, so we're going to go landscape with this, and here is a rough draft of what our final diagram is going to look like. So it looks like an upside down tree. All right, got the trunk, branches, leaves. It's the respiratory tree, and we need to have curved corners here. Okay, I put a dot right there in the middle, and we'll sketch it out from scratch, but this is just a very, very light overview of what our diagram is going to look like. Okay, so I don't want to put anything here, 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 or here just yet. So we'll put our paper there, and I'm just going to cover the middle, and we don't want to sketch anything in that corner just yet. Okay, so I'm going to go approximately right in the middle and make a little dot there, and about the width of my thumb I'm going to draw really, really lightly. That's pretty good. Not yet, not to the middle, but about there. Then I'm going to branch off here at about 45 degrees, nice and light. We're doing everything nice and light first. Okay, and now this guy is going to branch off too, and this guy's going to branch off too. It's going to look symmetrical, okay? And let's come, actually, let me erase that. This is why we do everything nice and light, okay? So this is the middle of our paper. So now this tube here is going to branch off like that. So it's a little more narrow than here, okay? And we're going to come down here, nice and light. Okay, and I'm going to put a dot right about there, dot right about there, and now some more branches. A little bit narrower than this guy, which is a little bit narrower than this guy. Okay, that's pretty good. So now I'm going to darken it. Okay, now we're going to draw some leaves very, very lightly. Okay, now we're going to draw cheese puffs on top of those leaves, or cheese curls, whatever you want to call them. Make sure they're connected there. And we can erase our light marks in the middle. Don't have to though. All right, looks pretty good. Now we're going to put a dot. Doesn't matter where. Each one of these cheese curls gets a dot. Doesn't matter whether it's the end, middle, okay? And we're going to continue this here, here, and here. Post-its off. And we're going to draw about the width of your thumb or so, like a half curve. Actually, this is why we do it lightly. We're going to make this close, not touching. One curve there. Okay, it's going to look like a roadway. I'm going to do the same thing in each corner, all facing like that, like that, like that, like that. Now, for each of these curves, we're going to draw a hot dog, a link of like hot dogs on top of each one of those light lines. And in each one of those hot dogs, you're going to put a solid dark dot. Doesn't matter whether it's the end or the middle. One dot per hot dog. And we're going to continue this here, 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 and here. Okay, there we go. So, let's see. What's next? We are going to put a rectangle up there and just shade it in. Okay. And we're going to put an upside down triangle right here. Okay, and I'm going to put some rings. I'm going to do them lightly first, just to make sure I like them. Yeah, they look pretty good. I'll darken them in now. Alright, so let's take a look at what we have here so far. This guy here, with these cartilaginous rings, is the trachea, or the windpipe. It has cartilaginous rings that force it to stay open because you don't want your windpipe to collapse. Okay, these guys here, and it's important that you put the labels kind of where I put them. Okay, this upside down V here, these are your vocal cords. La 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 la. Okay, and in between the vocal cords, I'm going to put a little dot there. This space in between the vocal cords right here is called the glottis. Okay, this guy up here is a trapdoor that sits above the glottis, and this is the trapdoor that swings down, swings shut like this when you're swallowing food, because you don't want food to go into your trachea and get stuck in your vocal cords. Okay. So a good name for this guy here would be the epiglottis, because it's above the glottis. All right, so that's the epiglottis there. And we call this whole region here where the vocal cords are, where the glottis is, where the top end or the proximal portion of the trachea is, we call this the larynx, otherwise known as the voice box. Okay, so we've got the epiglottis, we've got the glottis, vocal cords, trachea, rings. This is going to be the patient's right side because we're in an anatomical position. The patient is facing us. This is going to be the patient's left side here, okay? And what happens is the trachea brings air in, and we split off into two smaller hoses. One goes to the right lung, one goes to the left lung. The one that goes to the left lung, well, they're both called bronchi. Bronchi is plural, bronchus is singular. So this particular hose here is the left bronchus. Okay, we're not going to label the right one because it's kind of like labeling your right hand and your left hand. Okay, and we're going to add some over here on this side here. We're going to add some rings before we label this other structure. Nice and big and loose. Okay, those rings are the smooth muscle. And remember, there are three kinds of muscle: cardiac, smooth, and skeletal muscles. Smooth muscle surrounds your airway, surrounds your digestive tract, surrounds a couple other really important structures like, oh, I don't know, your blood vessels. So you've got no control over whether the smooth muscle is relaxed or contracting, okay? And what it surrounds is this structure here. It's not the trachea, it's not a bronchus, it's a smaller airway called a bronchiole. Okay. This air sac here is called an alveolus. And it's made up of one layer of very, very thin, flat cells called simple squamous. Anytime you see simple squamous cells, one word should come to your mind, and that would be diffusion. So we're going to see materials going in and out through these cells easily. So the air sac, is one of them is called an alveolus, multiple is called alveoli, and these guys here are cells. And the dark portion of each of those cells is the nucleus, just like when you folks stained your onion skin in biology class looking under the microscopes. Okay. This guy here and this guy, this one, they're called capillaries. They're the smallest blood vessels in the body. Okay, and that pretty much is it for laying out the diagram and labeling the major parts of the diagram. Up next is going to be looking at normal gas exchange and 3 pathologies that will affect your ability to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide with the outside world.